everyone, I'm Jenny Axler, and this is the first in a series of several videos we want to do to introduce you to the BrailleSense Polaris and several of its more popular features and functions. We want to start with a physical description of the unit, so we'll jump right into that. The top face of the BrailleSense looks very much like the traditional BrailleSense for those who can see it. Most of it is taken up with a 9-key Perkins-style keyboard with a few additions. Like the traditional BrailleSense, it does contain 4 function keys. These are shallow, oval-shaped keys to the very left and very right of the same row as the spacebar. F1 always gets you to the main menu. F2 is like Alt, takes you to a program-specific menu. F3 functions as Tab, with space F3 functioning as Shift Tab. When you're using the mobile screen reader in native Android apps, F3 and space F3 move to the next and previous object. And F4 functions as Escape, or in native Android apps, it functions as the back button. On each side of the spacebar are 2 additional keys. These will be to the right of F2 and to the left of F3. On the left of the spacebar is a Control key, and on the right of the spacebar is an Alt key. These keys function as Control and Alt in native Android apps so that you can use normal QWERTY keyboard shortcuts that are already native to Google Apps. When you're using BrailleSense apps, these keys function the same as space 1 and space 4, so they will move you down or up by one line or list item. Below the Braille keyboard is a 32-cell Braille display with 32 cursor routers above it. On each 5th cursor router is a very prominent dot to make orientation easier. Between the actual Braille cells and the cursor routers is another new addition. We have a touch strip that allows you to perform touch gestures similar to what you might use in VoiceOver or TalkBack. You can use these gestures for navigation and selection, to open and close menus, and to open the global options. On each side of the Braille display is a set of scroll keys. These 2 sets of scroll keys can be configured independently in the global options to move by paragraph, line, sentence, character, or display length. Above the Braille keyboard is an LCD. On each side of the LCD are LED lights providing visual status indicators. On the left side is power and GPS, and on the right side are Bluetooth and Wi-Fi indicators. Finally, in the upper left and upper right corners are the speaker grills. On the left of the front edge is the 3-position slide switch. This is the key lock switch. In the leftmost position, all keys are locked. In the center position, the top panel is locked, but the front keys can still be used. In the rightmost position, all keys are unlocked. To the right of that is another 3-position slide switch. This is the medium mode switch. This switch controls the next grouping of 5 keys. In the rightmost position, they control media playback. In the center position, they control daisy playback. In the leftmost position, they control application functions. To the right of this switch is the grouping of 5 keys I just spoke of. From left to right, they are previous, record, stop, play, and next. When these buttons are set to app mode and you're using native Android apps with the mobile screen reader, these buttons function as previous object, back, home, recent apps, and next object. You can also use the stop and next buttons to turn on and off the mobile screen reader, and you can use the record and play buttons together to open the Google Voice Assistant. Finally, on the right is the power button. Press it quickly to go in and out of sleep mode or screen off mode. Press and hold it to power off the unit or to boot up from a complete shutdown. On the left and right corners are the high-quality stereo microphones. The left edge of the unit features mostly audio buttons. In the front are the volume down and volume up buttons. Behind them is the headphone jack, which will take either 3 or 4-pull headsets. Behind that is the microphone jack, which will take a stereo microphone or a line-in source. Near the rear of the left edge is the USB port for plugging in drives and other USB accessories. Moving around to the back, on the very left, we have a Kensington lock port used for securing your device to a desk or tabletop if you're concerned about it walking away in someone else's hands. To the right, we have the HDMI port for outputting to a visual display. Next is a flat area with a small hole at each end. This is where the IRDA sensor is located for connecting remote control devices. Finally, to the right of the back edge is the AC adapter jack. Moving around to the right edge, we have the SD card slot. In front of that is the combination USB 3.0 rapid data port and micro USB port. You can use this port to charge the Polaris, to transfer files to and from a computer, or to connect as a USB Braille display. On the underside of the unit near the center is a label containing the serial number. Behind that is the long battery compartment with a catch on the left for releasing the battery. Between the right edge of the battery compartment and the left edge of the upper right rubber foot is the 13 megapixel camera, useful for taking OCR scans, identifying money, or even taking photos if you'd like to try. And that about wraps it up. Future videos will introduce you to Polaris's software features and functions, as well as several popular Android apps. We hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching.